Hi guys, I'm going to do another tag. It's the Playing with Your Emotions tag. I'm going to be doing both the book and the movie version of the tag. I believe both were started by Raylene at Padfoot and Prongs 07, and I'll leave a link to her channel in the description below. I was not tagged by anyone, I just saw this tag around and thought it'd be really fun to do. Okay, so the first emotion is happy. My happy book, or a series rather, is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I love this series. It's probably my favorite series, to date. That could be changed because I'm reading Lord of the Rings, so who knows. My happy movie is Despicable Me. So, I mean, who doesn't love Despicable Me? It just makes me very happy. Okay, the next emotion is sad. And my sad book is Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. This book actually made me cry. This is the only book in this series that has had, this is the only book that I read actually that's had this much of an impact on me. I don't know why, but just like two characters that I love in this series meet their end, and it just made me really sad. So, yeah. Anyway, my sad movie, I actually don't have a copy of it with me, but my sad movie is The Titanic. That is the only movie that has ever made me cry. The Notebook doesn't even have the power to make me cry. Only The Titanic has that power. The next emotion is angry. My angry book is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Oh my gosh. The stuff that happened in this book, I was like, no. It just felt, I did not want the series to end this way. Let's put it that way. I did not like this book. It just very much angered me. My angry movie is Eragon. I mean, this movie itself is really good. Like, visually it's amazing, and the acting is incredible. But, when you compare it to the book, no. It is nothing like the book, and that just made me very, very angry. Because I was watching it, I was picking apart the whole entire movie. I've seen this movie probably about 12 times, and I just kept picking apart every single little thing. Because there's so much wrong with this movie when you compare it to the book. But, as a movie on its own, visually, it's incredible, and the acting is amazing, like I said. But when you compare it to the book, it's horrible. So it made me very angry. The next emotion is nostalgic. And my nostalgic book, or rather series, is the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. This series is incredible. It reminds me of when I was sitting at my younger brother's indoor soccer matches, just sitting reading this whole series, and it's incredible. For my nostalgic movies, I actually have two. My first one is Drake and Josh Go Hollywood, and I love Drake and Josh. I grew up watching Drake and Josh, and it made me very sad when it was over. It's just a very nostalgic show from my childhood that I love. And another one, the other movie, is Power Rangers, because again, I grew up with the Power Rangers, so it just makes me, it's very, very nostalgic, because I remember sitting at home every day before school watching Power Rangers as a child. I still watch Power Rangers to this day, but it's very nostalgic of my childhood. The next emotion is scared. Sorry. My scared book is Project 17 by Lori Farias Solers. This book is the only book that actually really scared me. Yeah, the things that happen in this book are really kind of surprising and just kind of keeps you on edge. I read this within a couple of days because it's just really gripping, and it really scared me. I loved it. Am I scared movie? I actually don't have a copy of it, but I do not wish to own it either. It's Zombieland. That is the only scary movie that I've ever seen in my life, and after watching that I was paranoid for like the next month and a half. Yeah, I don't like zombies. The next emotion is surprised. My surprise book is The Demon's Lexicon by Saoirse Brennan. This whole part of the book back here is really surprising. You never see the ending coming. I was just like, what just happened? It really surprised me. And my surprise movie is Me and Orson Welles. I actually did not think it would be that good, but I wanted to say because it had Zac Efron in it, but I was like, based on the storyline, I don't think it would be that great. Then I actually ended up loving it, so really surprising in how good it actually is. The next emotion is disappointed, and my disappointed book is Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. The ending just seemed very rushed, and I was very disappointed with how it ended. It was just very rushed. I mean, I loved this whole big section of the book right here, but after that, like, this big section here just very disappointed me, let me down. Yeah. Still a great book, but the ending just let me down so much. My disappointed movie is Monster House. I thought this would actually scare me. I had extremely high expectations for this. It just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was still good, but it wasn't up to where I thought it was going to be. So it disappointed me in that manner. The next emotion is distressed. My distressed book is The Postcard Killers by James Patterson. I read this for bestsellers, and it just really grossed me out. Yeah, the murders in here are just very gruesome. So I was sitting there like this, like the entire time I was reading. I was like, whoa. And I read me and my friend Kramer read this at the same time for our book club and bestsellers for school. And we were just looking at each other when reading it like, this is extremely disgusting. It distressed me very, very much. Yeah. And my movie for distressed is Season of the Witch. This movie, like, I loved this movie, but just like the stuff that happened in it, I was like, ugh. It's very kind of chilling, kind of disturbing, but I loved it. So, yeah. The last emotion is confused. For the book, I picked The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith. I started watching the show before I read the books. And it's just like confusing. So I'm like, did this happen in the show or did this happen in the book? I was really confused. It really confused me because it's like different. So yeah. I decided to stop reading the books and just focus on the show, so I wouldn't be that confused. So I wouldn't be confused as to what was going on. So that just really confused me. And for my confused movies, I actually have two. I have Source Code. The beginning of this movie was really confusing for me, but after about the first 25 minutes or so, I actually started to understand it a little better. And by the ending, I completely understood everything. It's just like the beginning just really confused me in this. And lastly is Inception. I wasn't really extremely confused by this movie. It just took a little while for it, after I watched the movie, it took a little while for it to finally like click, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what was happening in the movie. So yeah, it was a little hard to follow some of the things, because you're like in this person's dream, then you're in this person's dream, and then you're in this person's dream. So it's a little confusing jumping back and forth. But yeah, I love this movie. I've seen it quite a bit of times. So that is the tag. I don't specifically tag anybody because I do not know who's done this tag already, because it's been around for a while. So if you're watching this video and you haven't done this tag yet, do it. I tag you. And who knows, I could be doing like a tag-a-palooza or something, because there's so many good tags that's going around, and I want to do them. So if there's any tag that you want to specifically see me do, leave a comment down below and I will get to it. So until next video, bye.